It's game time. Hello, everybody. Good to see everyone again. Yep. So yeah, what was it? I'm back for a little for a little what was it? I guess Thanksgiving Eve stream. Yeah. What was it? Sorry I didn't stream on Monday. Hold on. I got a bit sick, and I figured, you know what? Why not stream today instead? Okay. Oh. Hmm. All right, I'm good. So yeah, what was it? Yeah, I figured I'd have my news stream today, just going over a couple of news stories. The first one, as you probably suspected from the title, is relating to Cristiano Ronaldo and some mm, antics that he has gotten up to recently that have is ant. Oh, what? Okay, I'm not sure that's the right way to put it. Some recent some recent fuckery that's been going on with what was it, with him getting a red card and that with his ability to play in the World Cup. Yeah, what was it? Uh, hmm. All right. Yeah, trap. So yeah, what was it? We also have other stories relating to one relating to Paul Pogba's recent return, and a very interesting story from Norway that I found. Uh, apparently a player was accidentally died. What was it? Apparently a player was caught doping, but it turned out the substances they found did not come from any kind of illicit drug, but instead came from the artificial pitch. Yeah, weird. I know. What was it? Uh, we'll get into all that right now. Just let me. There we go. All right. All right. Let's get into the news. I wish I could get into the news. So yeah, this first story comes from BBC Sports. It is by Dale Johnson, football issues correspondent. So, yeah, he talks about football issues, I guess. Ronaldo and the World Cup reprieve, special treatment or justified? Well, what was it? Quick answer, special treatment. Like, seriously, no. That's the Come on, anybody acting like this is anything else is just completely delusional. This would never happen for almost any other player besides Cristiano Ronaldo. But crap, okay. You know what? I'm going to hold that off. I'm going to hold that off till we actually get into what we're talking about here. Okay. Cristiano Ronaldo is now free to play at his 6th World Cup finals. Bold assuming he's gonna make it to the finals. Crap. It raised an eyebrow, but probably didn't come as a huge surprise. Cristiano Ronaldo is available to play for Portugal in their opening matches at the World Cup, despite his red card against the Republic of Ireland. Yes, if you were unaware, the red card that Cristiano Ronaldo received for elbowing an Irish player during Portugal v Ireland, Republic of Ireland, should have prohibited him from playing in the 2026 World Cup, or at least the first couple of games. Now, FIFA has decided to, I guess, waive the last couple of games of his ban so that he can play at the World Cup. Which is just, I don't even know. It's just completely ridiculous. What was it? This is the title of the article. I saw it before. Ronaldo and the World Cup reprieve, special treatment or justified. Do you think this would happen for any player other than Cristiano Ronaldo? Maybe a couple of others. Maybe a couple of others. Maybe Messi. Maybe I don't know. David Beckham back when he was one of the most popular players in the world. But like, this is not something that FIFA would do for 99% of players. It's like, and anybody who thinks otherwise is just completely delusional. Like, this is so goddamn. I I don't know. This is just like, from a business perspective, I understand it. But from a sporting perspective, it's like, what the hell are you doing? Oh crap. Whatever. Why? Because FIFA decided to suspend for 1 year the final two matches of his suspension. Okay, so they didn't waive the matches. They they decide they decide to suspend his suspension for 1 year. What the? How do you suspend a suspension? That what was it? That feels like an oxymoron. Oh, whatever. Under FIFA's disciplinary code for violent conduct, Ronaldo should have received a 3-match ban for elbowing Dara O'Shea during Portugal's 2-0 qualifying defeat earlier this month. Yeah. Yet FIFA's disciplinary committee said it took into account that he had not received a red card in his other 225 international appearances. Oh, screw off. Oh, screw off. Yeah, sure. I'm sure that was the biggest factor in allowing Cristiano Ronaldo to play at the World Cup, and not, the fact that he is Cristiano Ronaldo, one of the most famous soccer players in the world. No. And, would draw in a lot of money for playing at the World Cup. God damn. Yeah. It's just, come on. He served 1 match in the final qualifier against Armenia. The other 2 will only be activated if he commits another infringement or a similar nature and gravity during the probation period. Okay, so they did waive the 2 other suspensions, but they will be unwaived if he commits another foul, or I guess if he commits another red card offense. Hold on, yeah, wait. What does infringement mean here? If he commits another red card offense, which in that case shouldn't he get, the 3 matches again, or does it also account like yellow cards or fouls? I don't know, man. I don't know. I probably not. It's probably just means red card offenses, but So Ronaldo is free to join arch-rival Lionel Messi at the World Cup in the United States, Mexico, and Canada. Oh my god. Yeah. What was it? That too. That's probably also a bigger factor. That's probably also a big factor in, what was it? This whole ban getting waived. Much bigger than the friggin' 220 international appearances. What's up? Hey, Rev. Hey. Sorry I didn't stream on Monday. I got kind of sick. So, yeah, I'm streaming today. Yeah. Yeah, what was it? Yeah, I'm talking about the story. What was it? Ronaldo. Ronaldo got his suspension ban waived for that red card he got versus Ireland. Oh shit, you're sick too? Crap. Yeah, what was it? Of course, shit's gotta go around right around the holidays. Yeah. Yeah, ain't that always how it is? Crap. Uh, so yeah, what was it? So, it's freezing in Canada? Yeah. Yeah, I can assume. Damn. Yeah, what was it? I live in I live in New York, so it's kind of cold so it's kind of cold too. Probably not as cold as where you are, but it's a bit chilly. Yeah. So, let's see. So Ronaldo is free to join arch rival Lionel Messi at the World Cup in the United States, Mexico, and Canada next summer. Oh my god. Uh, hmm. Why do why do I feel like I don't know. How much you bet FIFA is gonna try and rig it so that what was it so that Portugal plays against Argentina? I mean, that feels like something that would happen, but at the same time, it just feels way too obvious. I don't know. Eh. But what I know, what was it? They're doing. I think they're still doing that. Yeah, I think they're still doing that freaking what's it called? Dynamic pricing. You know, when like the price of the tickets goes up and down depending on how much people are interested in it. A Messi versus a Messi v Ronaldo. Yeah, and it's because their last World Cup. What was it? Argentina versus Portugal at the 2026 World Cup. Both Messi and Ronaldo's final World Cups with that freaking dynamic pricing thing. Oh my god, I can't even imagine how fucking expensive those tickets would be. That might actually get into the freaking millions. Or, well, no, a lot of World Cup tickets already get into the millions. Maybe. Oh god. Am I brave enough to say they might get to 10 million? I don't know. Okay, it might not get that bad, but like it would be pretty expensive. God damn. Yeah. It's gonna be crazy. But has FIFA exercised special treatment to get Ronaldo to their showpiece event, or have we seen this happen before? Uh, well, I've already said how I feel about that question, but let's let the article talk. Does FIFA have the right to suspend Ronaldo's ban? Well, I mean, of course they do. they, well, I mean, they can ban someone, they can unban someone if they want. Whether or not they should be doing that is a different question. In short, yes. There is a clause in the disciplinary code which effectively gives FIFA the right to cut or cancel any ban as it sees fit. Because, of course, there is. uh, Article 27 says FIFA can fully or partially suspend a disciplinary measure for a probationary period of 1 to 4 years. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, FIFA can just kind of do whatever they want at this point. It's like. Oh my god. Yeah, hold on. It's like people can complain, people can protest, people can, what was it, hoot and holler. And like, you can do that. I think it's a good thing to do things like that, when something happens you don't really agree with. Not just when it comes to soccer, but things in general. But like, yeah, you do have to acknowledge, like, at the end of the day, FIFA can just kind of do whatever it wants at this point. It's just got way too much power. And Article 25 starts. I mean, no. And Article 25 states. I don't know what's wrong with me. Crap. Okay. And Article 25 states the relevant FIFA judicial body may scale down the disciplinary measure to be imposed or even dispense with it entirely. Has any other player had a ban suspended to play at the World Cup? You know what? I don't actually know. I said some harsh stuff before. I'm actually gonna, let's actually see if there is precedent for this. There has not been a World Cup reprieve quite the same as Ronaldo's, where a 3-match ban has remained in place but partially suspended. Of frickin' course. I don't really know what I don't really know what I was expecting. Eh, well, okay, that's not true. I fully expected that to be the answer. Damn. But there's several other examples of FIFA looking kindly upon players, reducing their ban from the mandatory punishments. Okay, well, you know what? Let's see. All right, let's see if. All right, well, what was it? At least similar things have happened before. Let's see if this, what was it? Let's see if there really is good precedent for this. The World Cup finals are the pinnacle of most players' careers. Articles 25 and 27 give FIFA the freedom to consider the merits and impact of a suspension, and it's not only been about star players. I feel like the main merits and impact, they're measuring is the impact to FIFA's to FIFA's box office, or to FIFA's ticket sales is probably the better phrasing. Crap. In 2014, France defender Laurent Koscielny was off for slapping Ukraine's Alexander Kucher in the first leg of the World Cup playoff. Oh shit, really? Huh. I don't remember this. Well, 2014 was a long time ago. Oh shit. 2014 was 11 years ago. Like Ronaldo, Koscielny was automatically banned for his country's final qualifying fixture. FIFA then chose not to extend the Arsenal centre-back's suspension beyond 1 match, allowing him to play at the World Cup. Okay, well, Alright, so I guess that's kind of similar. But in this case, what was it? Ronaldo already had a 3-match suspension, and they decided to shorten it. In the case with this, Koscielny guy, they gave him a 1-match. The way they're saying it, it sounds like they gave him a 1-match suspension and then just decided not to give him more. I don't know. This doesn't totally sound like the same situation, but whatever. Croatia's Mario Mandzukic should have missed the opening 2 games of the 2014 finals after he was sent off for serious foul play in the second leg of the playoff win over Iceland. FIFA gave him a 1-game ban, meaning he could play the second match against Cameroon, a 4-0 win in which he scored 2 goals. Damn. Alright, well, what was it? Well, a 4-0 win sounds impressive, but yet... hold on. How good was Cameroon back in 2014 again? I think they were alright. Okay, whatever. Alright, maybe it was impressive. Towards the end of qualifying for the 2006 World Cup, Netherlands midfielder Philippe Cocu decent? Oh, alright, yeah. What was it? Yeah, what was it? Nah. I was like, damn. I was... Oh, they were decent back then? Damn, what was it? I was like... I was like 11 back in 2014. I really don't remember that World Cup very well. Yeah. Let's see, where was I? Oh, towards the end of qualifying for the 2006 World Cup, okay, I'm definitely not going to remember this. Netherlands midfielder Philippe Cocu was sent off for an alleged retaliatory elbow on an Albanian player. Oh, okay, so this is... Alright, so this is kind of what Ronaldo did, but his elbow wasn't retaliatory. FIFA chose to ban Kroku for 2 matches, meaning he missed the final UEFA qualifiers against the Czech Republic and Macedonia, but was free for the opening match of the World Cup. Alright. Japan's Makoto... Oh shit, you were 6? Wow. Wait. Damn. Japan's Makoto Hasebe was sent off for an elbow at the end of qualifying for the 2010 World Cup, and like Koku was given 2 matches. He was not so lucky, however, as the second match was the first game of the World Cup. Alright, so this isn't totally the same because he was suspended for a World Cup game. Likewise, Iran's Said oh god, I'm gonna butcher this. Saeed Ezatolahi was sent off for bringing his boot down on the head of an opponent in their penultimate qualifier. Holy shit. he freaking stepped on a guy. He freaking stepped on a guy's head. Oh my god. Was it at least partially accidental, or like because like if you step on a guy's head like intentionally, then like you got to be gone, man. Like you like man, they should not be giving you like a limited sentence. It'll be like a limited ban. You got to serve the full thing. Like just like stomping on a dude's head is like, that's a bit too far. That's a bit crazy. Alright. Yeah, what was it? That's crazy, man. That is really crazy. FIFA chose to give the midfielder 2 games rather than 3. Okay, alright. It must have been at least... Alright, if they're only giving him 2 games instead of 3, it had to have at least been partially accidental, right? I feel like if you... I don't know. I feel like if you stomped on a guy's head, it's like, there's no way they're giving you like a... I don't know. There's no way they're giving you a shorter ban. I feel like they would at least, give you the full ban, but I don't know. What was it? I haven't seen the clip, clearly. And he missed just the first game at the 2018 World Cup. In 2000... Oh my god, yeah. Crazy. In 2002, Mexico midfielder Jesus Arellano was given a 3-match ban for violent conduct against Costa Rica. He missed the final qualifier against Honduras and was set to sit out the first 2 matches of the World Cup. But Mexico were successful in a late appeal just before the finals kicked off, claiming the suspension was too harsh. Arellano's ban was reduced, and he only had to sit out their opener. Alright, so I guess there is some precedent for this. What was it? So, alright, I guess there is some precedent for, what was it, shortening bans when what was it? It includes like World Cup games. So, yeah, but I don't know. I don't know. I still feel like the fact that he is Cristiano Ronaldo, influenced them a little bit to do this. What about James and Rooney? England midfielder Lauren James was sent off at the 2023 Women's World Cup for standing on the back of Nigeria's Michelle Alozie. Holy crap. Oh my god. Standing on her back? What the hell? Why the hell are you standing on someone's back? Oh my god. That's like, what was it? Oh my god. That's like what? That's like the same as the other guy before. Is like, why are you stomping on people's heads? Why are you standing on people's backs? Why the fuck are you getting on people? Like, goddamn, you do. Why are you putting your feet down on people? Like, that's some weird shit. Why are you doing that? Oh god. James feared she would get a 3-match suspension, meaning she would be ruled out for the remainder of the tournament. But FIFA decided to give James 2 games, and she was able to return as a substitute in England's 1-0 final defeat by Spain. Oh, come on, what was it? They let her play and they lost 1-0. That's just great. Oh, crap. I feel like that's gotta be karma. I feel like that's gotta be, like, some cosmic shit fucking with you. It's like, nope, you're not getting off that easy. Crap. England also had success with Rooney's suspension for Euro 2012. Alright, well... Alright. The Manchester United striker was given a 3-match ban for kicking Miodrag Zdrodovic during a 2-2 draw with Montenegro in the final qualifier. God damn, 2012 England was freaking tied with Montenegro? Oh, crap, yeah, that was, that was not great. Rooney would have missed the whole group. Rooney would have missed the whole of the group stage, but England had it reduced to 2 matches on appeal. He then scored the only goal of the game against Ukraine, which ensured England topped their group. So the way it's put here, this sounds like it's the most similar to Ronaldo's situation, where like he was given a 3-match ban, but they managed to get it reduced so that he could play in the World Cup, which is exactly what happened with Ronaldo, at least the way they're putting it. But like, what was it? Wayne Rooney was also probably one of the biggest players in the world at the time. Or, well, well, it was 2012 Rooney, which was like, no, Rooney was still pretty big around 2012. Yeah, so what was it? So yeah, what was it? That doesn't totally disprove the idea of favoritism or like, you know, what was it, special treatment, because Rooney is also like a really famous player. And what was it? His situation does sound like it was the most similar to Ronaldo's. What was it? It is kind of ironic, what was it, that the way they're putting it, Wayne Rooney's situation was the most similar to Ronaldo's. Those two just can't get away from each other. You know, except when they did. Have any players not been so fortunate? I mean, I assume a lot of players have not been so fortunate, but, you know, let's wait and see. There are a few cases, and players who are sent off in their last competitive game before the finals will always miss at least one game. At the 2006 World Cup, Germany striker Mike Henke was very unlucky. A year earlier, Henke had been sent off for serious foul play against Mexico in the third-place playoff at the Confederation Cup. Oh crap! What are you? Why are you doing serious foul play against Mexico of all countries at the Confederation Cup of all tournaments? It's like that's not. I don't know. That's not the place where you really need to be playing that dirty. It's like, oh well, so I feel like there are other tournaments where you should save that for. God. Germany didn't have another competitive game for a whole year as hosts of the 2006 World Cup, but FIFA stuck with the mandatory 2-match ban. Henke was still picked for the squad even though he was suspended, and made one 19-minute appearance. I'm ironically in another third-place playoff as Germany beat Portugal. Yeah, well. In October this year, Qatar center back. All I needed to know. All I needed to know was that he was from Qatar. Oh wait, no. This is the. All right, hold on. Let's. Wait, and like I don't care if he got to play at the World Cup. It doesn't matter. All right. In October this year, Qatar center back Tarek Salman. Is he at all related to what was it, Sheikh Salman? Or no? Wait, that different guy. There's another Salman. Oh wait, yeah. No, is he at all related to Mohammed bin Salman? What was that guy? Like, yeah, is that the Sheikh of Qatar, or am I thinking of someone else? Mohammed bin Salman. I don't know, I don't actually remember. But whatever. Qatar's center back, Tarek Salman, was sent off in the second leg of his country's final qualifier against the United Arab Emirates. And given the statutory 2-match suspension for serious foul play, Ecuador's Moises Caicedo, I always mispronounce his name, and Argentina's Nicolas Otamendi will have to sit out the first game of next year's finals after being sent off for 2 bookable offenses in their final qualifying matches. Alright, what was it? Those are 2 fairly, pretty prominent players that, haven't done their, that was it, are still missing World Cup games due to red cards, so, that's good. The same fate was suffered by Colombia's Freddy Guarin, whatever, in 2014, and Serbia and Montenegro's Nemanja Vidic in 2006. A 2-match ban has cost players a place in their World Cup squads. Miranda, Brazil, and Christian Rodriguez, Uruguay, in 2010 were both omitted because they had suspensions to serve. Miranda, Brazil, serve. Alright, so, Alright, looks like that's the end of the article. Okay, so, so it seems like, I guess so it seems like there is some precedent for a player's suspension being lessened, or, well, for a player being given, I guess, a lighter ban because the World Cup is coming up, but it doesn't seem like it's that consistent. And it's like, what was it? It seems the way they're putting it, it's usually that like players were given shorter bans and just didn't have them extended. Whereas the way they're saying it here, it sounds like Ronaldo was just given a 3-day ban initially, and then they decided to shorten it for the sake of the World Cup, which is like, I don't know. I mean, it's kind of similar, so, I don't know. I still feel like, what was it? I still feel like, what was it? The fact that it is Cristiano Ronaldo, and the fact that it's both him and Messi's final World Cup, did play a decent part in, what was it? His suspension getting waived like this, but I don't know. That's just what I think. Do keep in mind, I am more of a Messi fan, so I'm a bit biased. What was it? Speaking of players, speaking of players making their return. What was it? Speaking of players making unwanted returns to the game, Paul Pogba. Oh, crap. Yes, this is from The Guardian, written by Luke Entwistle. Very interesting last name. Paul Pogba is a footballer again after 2 years out. A ban and a kidnap case. All right. I got to admit, that's a pretty good headline. That's a pretty good headline. I would probably read it after, reading that last part. Oh, crap. He only got a 2-year ban. How long was Paul Pogba's ban supposed to be again? I think it was like, what was it, 4 or 5 years? I think it was supposed to be, but they shortened it to 2. I don't know. I'm still not sure if they should have shortened his ban like that, but, it's too late now. The midfielder has made plenty of headlines in the last 26 months, but he is finally back gliding across a football field. How much can you learn from Paul Pogba's 9-minute cameo? Perhaps just that he does indeed exist, and not only in columns. Fitness updates and social media posts. That is where he has existed for the past 26 months, since his final game for Juventus in September of 2023, equally at the center of our gaze and absent from it. Between his 4-year doping ban, so it was 4 years. I thought it was 5 for a second, but reduced to 18 months on appeal, his release from Juventus, and the extortion and kidnapping case that led to his brother being sentenced to 3 years in prison. Oh my god, shit, what was it? Yeah, crap, I think I remember that. That was crazy. His name has been constantly uttered, but his face has been rarely seen. At least, not on a football pitch. God damn. Yeah, what was it? Paul Pogba has had a pretty crazy couple of years. Like, goddamn. His appearance at Roazhon Park on Saturday night was primarily an act of demythification. Okay, what was it? I put that together. Demythification. A moment when he escaped the realm of the collective imagination to become mortal once more. Wow. They are really dressing this up in some flowery language. Like, goddamn. Demythification. The moment when he escaped the realm of the collective imagination to become mortal once more. Oh my god. Oh my god. We're talking about a guy who juices. What was it? Playing for 9 minutes. Like, goddamn, guy. You can chill out a bit. Yep. It was also a moment when the angel beat the devil. Really. In my head, there was sometimes an angel that said, "You'll come back," and a demon that said, "It's over." That's not usually what an angel and a demon... That's not really what an angel and a demon usually means. Oh, crap. In Paul Pogba's case, the angel should have been telling him, hey, don't shoot up steroids. Oh, crap, what was it? Yeah. And clearly Paul Pogba didn't listen. Or at least he didn't the first time. We'll see how things go this time, We'll see how he does with this chance. God damn. But my wife pushed me, and I stayed focused. I wanted my kids to see me on the pitch, said Pogba in July, upon signing a 2-year deal at Monaco. Oh, crap. That was a surprise. What was it? Him signing for Monaco was a surprise. What was it? Not only because I thought, what was it? No. Crap, what the hell? What was it? It's over. But my wife pushed me, and I stayed focused. I wanted my kids to see me on the pitch, said Pogba in July, upon signing a 2-year deal at Monaco. Yeah, what was it? Him signing at Monaco was a surprise, mostly because, what was it? I thought if any Ligue 1 team was gonna sign Pogba, I thought it would be Marseille. Like, come on, come on. You got to admit, some of you expected Marseille to see the frickin' what was it? The doping. What was it? The doping scandal, the 4-year ban, and then it gets shortened to 18 months. Some of you were thinking, yo, what was it? Marseille was looking at that freaking salivating, like, ooh, okay, another controversial player we can sign at a premium. Is premium the right way? I know, at a discount. Another controversial player to sign at a discount. Yes, yes. Rubbing their hands together like the friggin' flies they are. Oh crap! Yeah. What was it? Yeah. Maybe if he doesn't do well at Monaco, they'll send him to Marseille. We'll see how it goes. But his arrival at Monaco was not an endpoint in itself. He wanted to make his Monaco and Ligue 1 debut against his formative club, Le Havre. Oh shit, and he was playing against his old club? Damn. On the first day of the season, but the club's CEO, Thiago Scuro, provided a dose of realism. The Brazilian suggested he would need a 3-month program before returning to full fitness. And so the idea of Pogba was once again confined to the digital realm, bottled up in press conference responses, clicky updates, and an incessant barrage of photos and videos from training. A reminder that he still exists, as if we could ever forget. Oh crap. I mean, once again, they're dressing this up in some pretty flowery language. I don't think... like, goddamn, what was it? Yeah. He was expected to return 6 weeks ago in a match against Angers. Angers? There's a French team called Angers? Okay. What was it? When I think of French people, anger isn't necessarily the first thing that comes to mind, but okay. Before a minor quadricep injury put paid to those plans? Is that a thing? Like, is that a thing people say? Alright. And then again against Paris FC at the start of this month, only for an ankle sprain to delay his return once again. Like, goddamn, God did not want him getting back on the pitch. What was it? FIFA said, okay, we'll shorten your ban. We'll shorten your ban to 4 years. But God was like, oh, nah, you ain't getting back on the pitch. Breaks his fucking leg. Oh, God. God. God damn. We are all a little disappointed. He was ready and wanted to play, said Monaco manager Sebastian Pogagnoli at the time. The minor setbacks only amplified the noise before this weekend. Pogagnoli had already spent the week fielding Pogba-related questions before Friday's press conference, and it did not buck the trend. After the first 6 minutes were spent on the topic, Pogagnoli reminded the journalists that there were, in fact, other players in his squad, other subjects, a football match even, lest we forget. Like, come on, it's like, come on, man. It's like, obviously there's other shit to talk about, but everyone's gonna want to know about Pogba. It's like, he's the big story. But the match was a subplot. Pogba's entrance in the 85th minute of Monaco's 4-1 defeat by Rennes, and they friggin' lost. That's just great. They're third in a row in Ligue 1. Oh my god. This is what I mean. This is what I mean when I say God freaking hates this guy. It's like, what was it? He signs for them and they're losing 3 games in a row. And his first match back is a freaking 4-1 defeat. That's just great. Ensured as much. All 18 of Pogba's touches elicited microscopic inspection because, naturally, there are doubts about his ability to be the player of old. Well, I mean, yeah. Now that we know how he became the player of old, yeah. We're all gonna question whether or not, he can actually be that again. And, how he might be able to be that again. Crap. The Paul from Manchester United, or from his first stint at Juventus, was a few years ago. And was doping, so, yeah. That's kind of an important piece that you shouldn't leave out. We have to judge him on what he is now, with his baggage, but also his age. Oh yeah, and he's also older now. Well, not that much older, it's like 2 years, which... I mean, that is a long time for a soccer player, but, well, it's not too much older. Okay. What was it? Said Pagagnoli last month. I feel like I'm definitely pronouncing the coach's name wrong. Freaking Pagagnoli? I'm assuming that's pronounced. I don't know. What was it? I'm not pure-blooded Italian. I'm only like maybe like 1/15th Italian. Or no, like maybe like 20% Italian. He added that Pogba had not lost his footballing abilities or his vista, and he could still bring Monaco a lot if his body allows. Yeah. If his body isn't destroyed from all the steroids. 9 minutes on a football pitch did not answer those important questions, even if it was immediately apparent that he has not lost that swashbuckling elegance with which he glides across the pitch. His unerring confidence is clearly intact, too. There is a good God. I believe in myself and my qualities, said Pogba after the pitch. God. After how many times your return to the pitch got delayed, I'm not sure that God, I'm not sure that God believes in you. Crap. Pagagnoli spoke of Pogba's return, bringing momentum to his team. What was the score when Pogba was actually brought on? Like, it said before it was a 4-1 loss, but what was the score when Pogba came on in the 85th minute? Not sure. Hold on. Monaco versus... What was it, Rennes? Yep. Let's see... Okay, so in the 85th minute, Rennes was up 4-0. It's like there was nothing Paul Pogba could have done to save this. I guess they did score 1 goal, but like, I don't know. I'm not sure how much Pogba played into that. I didn't actually watch this game. Yeah. League games are kind of hard to come by in the US. It is... Alright. Let's see, where was I? It is sorely needed. When Pogba signed in the summer, he joined a club that had just finished on the Ligue 1 podium for the second successive season. A team that played attractive football and secured results under Adi Hutter. None of these things is true now. None of these things is now true. Monaco have dropped to 8th in the table, so expectations on Pogba have increased. He represents something of a savior figure for Monaco. Oh. Shit. I'm not sure Monaco should be getting their hopes up like this. I'm not sure it's a good idea. Just as he did when he joined Manchester United for a then world record fee of $110 million. Okay, that's true, but like... I feel like a lot of players that Manchester United signs are kind of seen as like savior figures at this point. What was it? Yeah, it's like, well, they're just Manchester United is just begging for someone to just come and like lift them up and like get them out of the freaking mess they found themselves in. Like, goddamn. Eh. Players often insist their fees do not matter, and that is true of Pogba, whose arrival as a free agent at Monaco does not mean that expectations are lessened. Dennis Zakaria and Lamine Camara should be the players who alleviate the reliance on Pogba, but the former is now suspended following a red card in the defeat by Rennes, and the latter has only just returned from a lengthy injury layoff. Oh, that's just great. So both of their other top guys are, what was it, out or like coming back from injury. Oh, crap. That's a good situation to be in. Pogba will welcome the responsibility as he attempts to return to the France team before next summer's World Cup. I don't know. I don't know. Do you think he can get back into the France national team for the World Cup? I don't know. I mean, there's only really a few months left. I feel like, I don't know. If he seriously balls out, this season and like does actually manage to lift Monaco up back into like a podium spot, then maybe I can see him getting back into the French team. Unless that happens, I don't see him at the 2026 World Cup. I really don't. Pogba will welcome the responsibility as he attempts to return to the Oh shit! I already read that. I'm very far away from that. You could say that again. Admitted Pogba on Saturday night. Didier Deschamps' decision to recall veteran N'Golo Kante and Florian Thauvin for recent camps is a source of optimism, and Pogba has always curried favor with the France manager. Rennes' Habib Baya said he had always watched Pogba with sparkling eyes. Ooh. Under the lights of Rozan Park, it was clear that Pogba had been elevated to something of a deity. Even in his absence, he was omnipresent. Monaco will hope that he is omnipotent too. Oof. I wouldn't get my hopes too too high on that. All right. Let's see. Is this more of the article? Oh, no, it's something else. League 1 results. Let's see. Talking points. Marseille, who play Newcastle in the Champions League. Let's see. Monaco, Marseille, Lens, Toulouse. I don't really care about this. Alright, so what was it? Yeah, so to sum things up, Paul Pogba is back and he's playing for Monaco. I hate the fact that they put a ban and a kidnap case in the title. If anybody watching this is thinking about reading this article because of that freaking line, he doesn't actually talk about the kidnap case. Like, he talks about it, but he doesn't actually, like, explain what the hell that means. So, like, if you're unaware of this freaking kidnapping shit that happened with Paul Pogba's brother, this is not the article to learn about it. He freaking clickbaits. He freaking clickbaits us with this kidnap thing. Oh, crap. That is just... Oh, crap. That is just underhanded. That is just low. I would never clickbait anyone like that. Oh, crap. Anyways, next up is an article about a woman, what was it, who got, about a, fuck, I messed it up. Next article is about a woman who got doping. Next article is about a woman who got steroids from the pitch. Oh, crap. Okay, I already fucked it up. You know what? I'm not even gonna try. This article is also from The Guardian, this time from Nick Ames, or Nick Ames, European sport correspondent. Let's see. Valorenga call for anti-doping changes after artificial pitch causes footballer to fail drug test. Oh my god. I read the title for this article and I just had to check it out because what the hell is this about? Gee, what was it? The pitch made her fail a doping test? What, did the pitch point a gun at her and was like, "You need to take these steroids or else I'll shoot you"? Oh god. Okay, that's definitely not what happened. Let's actually read this and find out. Let's see. Player ingested a banned stimulant from rubber crumb. She has been exonerated, but talks of terrible moment. Okay, that just makes me more. That just made me question things even more. What the hell? The Norwegian club Vålerenga have called for anti-doping regulations to be strengthened after an extraordinary case in which a player from their women's team was found to have ingested a banned stimulant from a rubber crumb in an artificial pitch. What the hell? There was a stimulant in rubber? Why was a stimulant in rubber? Is the rubber trying to give itself an edge? What was it? Oh, crap. A 7-month saga concluded on Wednesday when the World Anti-Doping Agency, WADA, WADA, isn't that what the guy from Chowder would say? Freaking schnitzel? Oh no, he said Rada. Rada. Alright, never mind. Chose not to appeal against the decision of anti-doping Norway, ADNO, that the player was faultless. But the landmark case has highlighted the risks to footballers of environmental exposure to banned substances and opened up the possibility of further controversies emerging around the thousands of synthetic pitches across Europe. The specter of a doping violation had not been on anyone's minds when Vålerenga faced LSK Krivner at LSK Hall in Lillestrøm, near Oslo, on 22nd of April. But a routine drug test found 4 players from each side had returned samples containing the prohibited substance. 1,3-dimethybutylamine? DMBA. That DMBA is what we'll call it. One of the samples belonging to the Vålerenga player in question exceeded the WADA reporting threshold of 50 milliliters. It triggered an investigation that baffled officials from both clubs and ADNO, which found no common denominators in food, drink, or other supplements consumed by the athletes involved. The affected player, who has chosen to remain anonymous, people probably already know who she is, told The Guardian of the anxiety brought on by learning she was accused of a violation. "It was a terrible moment," she said. "It was a very upsetting experience, and I couldn't really understand what was going on." I have no idea what accent I just did. The player was allowed to continue her career while the inquiry continued. She believes the shadow it cast may have affected some of her performances, and was deeply relieved when an environmental investigation, which concluded in July, finally discovered the unusual cause. All right. Oh, is it? Let's see what caused this whole shit. It determined, after testing water samples and substances from multiple sites within the hall, that the shredded tire granulate, known popularly as rubber crumb, in the pitch had contained the DMBA, which had been transferred to the players during the game. Okay, so to explain this, multiple players from two different teams that played against each other at the same pitch were found to have this stimulant, this illegal stimulant, DMBA, in their systems, and they recently found out they got it from the frickin' pitch. From a material used in the artificial pitch. Well, it's like, but what I'm questioning, how did they even get it from the pitch? Were they freaking licking the ground or something? Oh crap! I don't know how the hell this works. Crap. DMBA is a synthetic substance that stimulates the central nervous system and is sometimes used in dietary supplements, although it is banned in Norway and the European Union. It was known through peer-reviewed scientific studies to be a product that can occur through breakdown of the rubber-type granulate, and there is a degree of frustration that this was not picked up on during the investigation. Yeah, well, listen, I don't think anybody could have suspected they would have gotten the freaking steroid from the pitch. Just like in the pitch. I don't think anybody could have thought of that. I don't know who would have. I definitely wouldn't have. But then again, I'm not paid to investigate shit like this, so, you know, that's just me. Take it with a grain of salt. The player was found to have borne no fault or negligence in the first known case in elite sport where environmental exposure has been responsible for a perceived violation. I've always known I did nothing wrong, and I'm grateful to Adno for tracing the source to LSK Holland, she said. Still, the process and outcome feel somewhat arbitrary. If Adno had not been able to identify the granulate as the source, my situation would have been much more difficult. When you're this is a quote. Okay. When you're extremely careful, follow all the rules, and still end up being drawn into a case like this, it shows how vulnerable you are as an athlete. I still have no idea what accent I just did. Crap. The surfaces are... Oh, hey, Dantis, what's up? Yeah, man. What was it? Just doing a little... Just doing a little Thanksgiving Eve stream. What was it? Going over some, recent stories I thought were interesting. Yeah. What was it? This one is about a group of players in Norway who got, who were found to have, like, an illegal stimulant in their system. Turns out they got it from the pitch. There was an illegal stimulant in the artificial pitch that ended up getting into the systems of multiple players. Yeah, man, it's crazy. I would never have thought of this. God damn. Oh, crap. Oh, crap. The surfaces are not deemed to pose a health risk to athletes, but concerns have been raised in the past about their role in microplastics pollution. Oh shit, microplastics. You just can't get away from them. Damn. From 2031, rubber crumb infill will be barred from sale in the EU. Like 6 years from now? They can't do it any sooner? I don't know. Yeah, what was it? Bureaucracy always moves slow. Yeah. After the Valerenga case emerged, the Norwegian Football Federation recommended that indoor competitive matches be moved outdoors. In Norway? What was it? There's a good reason. There's a good reason they have their matches indoors in Norway. That place is cold as shit, man. God damn. Hmm. There are about 1,800 such synthetic pitches in Norway, and they are also prevalent in the UK, particularly at grassroots level. No international standard exists to ensure turf materials are free of substances banned in sports. Really? Damn. Valorenga wants the rules to be bolstered to acknowledge a positive doping test is not always traceable to an athlete's actions, advertent or otherwise. Eh, I'm not. I'm not too sure about that. I feel like. Hmm. I mean, obviously that's kind of true, but I also feel like you don't want to. You don't want to lighten things up too much when it comes to stuff like that. You know what I mean? Uh, Global rules are based on strict liability. Those are expanded upon in Article 2.1 of WADA's Anti Doping Code, which reads: It is not necessary that intent, fault, negligence, or knowing use of the athlete's part may be demonstrated in order to establish an anti doping violation. All right, I guess that is a bit strict, I think maybe there could be a bit more room there. Harriet Rudd, the Valerenga CEO, told The Guardian, environmental factors really need to be high on the radar moving forward. It's about having a holistic overview of what in the environment you risk finding in a doping test. Anti doping work has to develop, and issues like this have to become a much larger part of the things you take into consideration. Okay. There is a concern that now the risk of DMBA, pollution through pitches, has been flagged. In theory, any future player to test positive for the same reason would not be able to escape liability. Rudd also wonders whether the investigation would have been as thorough if only one or two players had returned samples containing DMBA at that match. Well, I mean, probably not. How many players did it say again before? I think it said like 4 players all got caught with like the same substance, and like that's what triggered all this. Yeah, 4 players from each side. So wait, does that mean 4 players in total and from each side, or does that mean 8 players in total had this shit in their system? I'm not sure. What was it? The point is, a reason why this was such a big investigation is that both teams had a lot of players that had this shit in their system. So, yeah. What was it? The exonerated player said, hopefully other athletes in a situation like mine will have a stronger legal protection in the future. The rules as they are today can lead to an innocent athlete being suspended for years. WADA has been contacted for comment. And by the fact that the article ends here, I'm guessing they did not comment. Okay, so yeah, what was it? The last article I read was about a guy who got suspended for doping. I figured, what was it? The next article should also be about doping, but this time people who are actually innocent. What was it? I thought it would be a nice way to lift people's spirits a bit. Yeah. But yeah. So yeah, what was it? As I've said before, what was it? I am American, and tomorrow is Thanksgiving. So yeah, what was it? I'm gonna be busy tomorrow. I've got a lot of people coming over to my place. What was it? Gonna eat some nice food. Gonna talk to people. Have some fun. Yeah. And what was it? Yeah, what was it? So, happy Thanksgiving to anybody who celebrates. I hope everyone has fun. What was it? I hope everyone, I hope everyone gets along with their family well. Because I know not everyone does. Oh, crap. And, yeah, bye. Hope to see you next